The Nintendo Switch has a lot of games. No, I mean a metric ton of games. Which means, unfortunately enough, a lot are bound to go under the radar. Marsupilami Hoobadventure is unfortunately one of those games that seems to have gone under the radar. In my opinion, this is a pretty big shame, as this is one of the better license-based kid games released for the system. No, I mean it. It's one of those few good modern licensed games, which is impressive as most license-based games are better left in the bargain bins. I'm looking at you, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You suck and we both know it. Marsupilami, on the other hand, is actually a really fun and well-made 2D platformer. Right away, just looking at the gameplay, you'll probably notice that the game takes cues from the Donkey Kong Country Returns series. I mean, you have that roll that you can spam to gain more momentum, like in those games, which leads to Marsupilami having a great sense of speed and pace. Spamming the roll move and just barreling through enemies, or defying gravity by rolling off a cliff and jumping at the last possible second feels so satisfying to do. Marsupilami Hoobadventure is one of those games that is just screaming for speedrunners to play. I mean, heck, before making this review, I did just that and did a few speedruns of the game. Rushing through stages can be just that much fun, just like it is in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Marsupilami Hoobadventure does a number of things differently from Donkey Kong Country Returns to make it stand out. That tail behind your character isn't just for show, you know? You see, throughout most, heck, probably all of the levels in this game, there are these hooks that your character will latch onto and either bounce off of or hang off of. The other thing that stands out to me is the difficulty, or really the lack of. This is an easy, chill little game that was probably intended for younger audiences, which I really enjoyed, as again, it sets it apart from the Donkey Kong Country Returns games, as those games can be pretty notorious for their difficulty. Another thing I found interesting is the bonus stages hidden in each level. They are platforming challenges where you get through a set of rings as fast as possible. I really like how during these challenges your character model becomes a silhouette. It really stands out compared to the look of the regular stages. The story is fairly one note. No real surprise there for a platformer. Basically, this skeleton guy woke up and took a crown, I think. You can't have that, so you set out to kick his butt. Like I said, it's your usual platformer fare. It's not bad, but it's also not good or going to win any awards. Now, while I do think this game is really good, I have some complaints with it. For starters, and probably the biggest complaint, is that the soundtrack just isn't that great. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not bad or anything. I like the use of ukulele in several songs. I find it matches the chill vibe of the game a lot, which I appreciate. However, I don't find any of it memorable or something that I would go out of my way to listen to. As a guy that's not really into music, that's kind of my barometer for if music is good or not. If I am willing to go out of my way to listen to it after playing the game. Sadly, Marsupilami Hoobadventure doesn't really have any tracks I'm dying to listen to after playing through the game. Another problem with Marsupilami Hoobadventure is the length. The game is just way too short. I mean, only 3 main worlds in the base game? That is just not enough for a game, even from the Super Nintendo era, much less the modern era of gaming. I am aware that they added a world to the game for free as downloadable content. While I want to commend the team for doing that, especially as it is free content, that still doesn't excuse the game for having such a small lineup of stages in the first place. I mean, seriously, the base game has 28 levels in it total. Meanwhile, Donkey Kong Country Returns, a game originally released on the Nintendo Wii, has double that at 80 stages. Why is this game so short? Although, despite the short length, I do find all the stages to be fairly interesting. For instance, you have a stage where instead of riding on the normal raft, as seen in every other platformer, you ride on whatever the heck this thing is. The boss stages are these really cool chase sequences. Instead of being your average boss fights, they end with you you getting to just beat the crap out of whoever the heck this skeleton guy is. I really appreciate the stage and level design, I just wish there was more of it. In summary, Marsupilami Hoobadventure is a really fun take on the Donkey Kong Country formula that, despite some missteps in the length and soundtrack, is a really well-made license-based game that stands apart from its inspiration. I would personally say pick this one up if you're looking for a new platformer to play through and maybe even speedrun. I played it on the Nintendo Switch, but it's also available on the Xbox One, PS4, and Steam. Well friends, that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like this video down below, comment, ring that notification bell, and subscribe for more. Until next time, peace.